Hi and welcome. I'm Lisa. Thanks for joining me for another card tutorial. So today I'm sharing my Fresh Friday project featuring a few Whimsy Stamps products. Now Fresh Friday is all about pulling products from your stash and using them in new and fresh ways. So the ladies over at Whimsy Stamps create a product list for us and we go through our stash, pull what we have, and let the brainstorming begin. Now this month came pretty easily to me. Now if you've watched last month's Fresh Friday video, you remember me saying it was a challenge, but I still loved it. So no matter if it comes easy or if I have to struggle with it a little bit, I still love participating in this Fresh Friday. Now, I'll be sure to link last month's Fresh Friday at the end of this video in case you want to check it out. Today, I'm using Polka Dot Pal Syeda stamp set. I'm also going to be using FaDoodles 2 stamp set and the Build a Garden die set. Now, I'm going to get started with a piece of 80-pound smooth cardstock in my MISTI, and I've already planned my first move here. I'm going to stamp this frame from the FaDoodle 2 stamp set onto the card panel using VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. I'm going to rotate that panel once in the MISTI and stamp that frame one more time. Since I have everything right here, I figured let's go ahead and stamp all of our images. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this cutie onto 80-pound smooth cardstock using Memento Tuxedo Black ink. I'm going to color her up in just a bit with my Copic markers. First, we're going to go ahead and run her through our scan and cut. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to our background. Now I'm going to use some Post-it tape and just secure this panel down on my silicone mat. Now I'm taking my time to line the tape up with the frame because I want to keep my ink blended background in that framed area. And I'm just playing around with her to see exactly where I want her to be. And I decided that lower right corner would be a perfect area for her. So the next thing I did was I ran the Whimsy Stamps Grass and Cloud Edger dies through my die cutting machine with masking paper to create a few DIY stencils using masking paper. Now I've laid down the top part of the grass. I'm going to use some Catherine Puller Sage ink and go ahead and start creating this grass area. I go ahead and pull that masking paper back up, turn it on an angle, lay it back down to create a heel, and I just use Catherine Puller's eucalyptus ink for that. And once we pull that up, you can see how it creates a heel there. So next, we're going to go ahead and mask off that grass area. So be sure to leave a little bit of the grass showing to avoid ending up with a white gap between the grass and the sky. Now I'm using the die cut cloud masking paper to create puffy clouds using Catherine Puller inks in the colors Hot Tub, Skylight, Shea Butter, and Pink Champagne. So we're going to go ahead now and remove the Post-it tape and see what we have here. Now I love the way this is looking, so I'm going to go ahead and move into coloring my image. So I am going to use my Copic markers for this, and I'm going to speed up a little bit through this, but I am going to talk through some of it. So I started out with a little bit of E00 around her face, and I thought I would try E21. Now I've seen a few people have success with it, and I thought, why not? However, I ended up coming back in with E11 and E04 to add more shading around the edge of her face, and then blended those edges out with E00. Now I do go back in and darken up a few areas a bit, and I'm going to finish this off with a last blend of E000. And of course, we have to give her some blushy little cheeks with R00 and R01. Now for her hair, I just used Y32 as a base color, and then I came in with E33, E37, and I just did some very light flicking motions to add streaks of color to her hair. Next, we're going to go ahead and color up this little pig, and we're using E01 and E02, E04, just to add some color, some darkness to him. I decided to come in with that E04. First of all, I wasn't going to, but then I ended up going in with it, and I really liked the way that it looked. Now, I finished off his ear and his ears and his snout with R32. So let's go ahead and wrap up the coloring. I used R29, R59, and N9 on her apron, and the bows on her boots, and also the little bow that I'm going to use in her hair. We used black 100 on her boots, and for her jeans, we used B95, B97, and B99. Okay, so here we are. I decided I was going to go ahead and do some die cutting using that Build a Garden die set. And I thought it would be really cute if I created a pot with some tulips in it like the little pig had been in the pot. So I used some black cardstock to cut that pot out and some red and green cardstock to create the tulips. Now this die set comes with this long slim piece. It's maybe 2 inches long, if that, maybe 1.5 inches. Anyways, I think that's probably supposed to be the post for the birdhouse, but what I did was just cut it in half and used it as the stem for my flowers. Then I added the flowers using round foam adhesives. I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of the panel and secure this to a 4¼ by 5½ inch card base. So now to finish this off, I'm going to stamp the words "Hugs for You" from the Happy Saying stamp set using VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. I'm going to trim those down with my paper trimmer, and I'm going to add foam adhesive strips to the back and then go ahead and add those to the top left corner. And I did add some details to that pot and those red tulips with my white gel pen. Now, I do believe that's going to wrap up this Fresh Friday card tutorial. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you'll click the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified of new content to the channel. For more information about the products used, head over to the Whimsy Stamps website, and I hope you have an amazing day.